coming to you live in a world where iPhones are actually waterproof. This is Jailbreak Weekly, episode number 22. And today I'm joined by my co-hosts, Mr. David Burns.
What's going on?
And Mr. Andy Hoff.
What's going on, guys?
I think I might have accidentally broken my ringer switch.
Wait, permanently on your iPhone?
Like, no, it works. It's just like, it's really, like, I think I might have gotten water lodged in there or something, because I try, okay, so I know, I've known friends that, like, what they do is they like, put it, so you know how sometimes, like, if you're at the beach with your phone, you put it in, like, a plastic bag or something?
Yeah.
All that does is make it, like, more wet, because it's all the moisture accumulates inside the bag.
But if you seal it in the plastic bag, then no water can get in.
Yeah, but it sweats. The phone sweats, like, in the bag.
Well, whatever. Anyway, so my theory goes is that when I took it in the shower, because I was like, you know, a bunch of my friends like have done that before, and they were like, you should do that. You should try it. I was like,
you
whatever.
took your phone in the shower?
Yeah.
What? Why would you ever do that? I'm sorry.
I don't know, 'cause people
you can literally put your phone like underneath the shower head with like water coming down.
No, of course not. Yeah, I would stick it right under the shower.
That's what it sounded like you were saying. It sounded like you were like just casually like, you know, browsing Twitter in the shower.
No,
That's what it sounds like.
I looked on Twitter, but like I put it like in a place where it wouldn't get wet.
Okay.
I wasn't like placing it like under the shower head. My theory is that when I did that, water somehow seeped through, like a little water, and got lodged into the thing, into the ringer switch. So it's like really, like it's really hard to press it now. Like it just doesn't work all the way.
Well, you know, moral of the story, I wouldn't shower with iPhone.
Yeah, moral of the story, don't shower with your iPhone or your Apple Watch.
So it's been a busy week in the techosphere, so to speak. Is that a word? Techosphere?
Yeah, blogosphere, techosphere, yeah.
Techosphere, blogosphere, podosphere? I don't know. It's been a busy week in the sphere that we call technology.
Yeah, there you
go. We have some exciting news to announce. So we'd like to thank William Fabrinskis for coming on the show a couple weeks ago, but after that we decided mutually with William that we would enter into a partnership. So starting now, Jailbreak Weekly is going to be on William's website, the irepo.com. And we will also be in the podcasts application. So any of your favorite podcast applications, Podcast, Downcast, Overcast, anything like that. And as well, if you do like listening to the podcast on YouTube, if you are one of those people, have no fear, because YouTube we will still be uploading podcasts to as well. So
absolutely.
Thank you so much to William for helping to get us on the website, and he's put in a lot of work getting the podcast feed set up and everything. So thanks to William. But yeah, I'm really excited about this. I think it's a big step, and obviously we couldn't go into iTunes because we'd probably get kicked out. But yeah, once again, thank you to William.
Also, I wanted to say, too, just as much as William helped out, Andy helped out tremendously, too. I wanted to give a big thumbs up to Andy.
Yeah, thumbs up as well.
Thank you.
I was sitting on FaceTime with him for hours on end while he was, going on his computer, copying and pasting links and, adding descriptions. And it was a lot of cumbersome work. He thankfully got it done, so I'm glad he did.
Thank you.
It was a lot of work. But yeah, it's a good thing he got it done, because now we have, and by the way, we have not just the newest episodes, we also have every single episode from 1 to, I guess, what you guys are going to be hearing this now, episode 1 to 22 is going to be live inside of, the RSS feed, or inside of the podcast app, whatever. So you guys can check out episode 3, episode 4 if you want. You can check out whatever episode, from 1 to 21. So it's pretty cool, because you could do that on YouTube if you really wanted to, but now it's a little bit less of a restriction, because hey, now you can, without having YouTube D with the jailbreak, now you can listen to the show without, being inside of the YouTube app and having that open, being able to lock the device and go and browse different things. That's going to probably be really good. So
Yeah, it'll be much easier, and yeah, it was just that like we just did like a bulk upload of all the other shows. Now, of course, again we'll continue to upload. So again, huge thanks to William. It's going to be awesome. To thank
Oh
so
yeah.
much to him for doing this for us. Yeah, really appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we do this to benefit the community, and we do
Yeah,
this to, you know, for our listeners. We try to make it as easy for our listeners as possible, and more choice is always a good thing. So,
right.
for those of you who have stuck with us, thank you so much. Over whether it's over YouTube or whatever, if you continue to stick with us, thank you. And yeah, the more choices that we have for you guys, the better it is. So,
Right.
yeah,
yeah.
And I do want to say too, we do listen to everyone, and I want to highlight that as well because I've been seeing a lot of things pop up from people saying when you, and this is kind of what pushed us initially to say, okay, we really do need to get this done because in the beginning it was a little bit important, like yeah, we'll figure it out eventually again because if you guys heard, if you guys were with us for the first few episodes, we actually did have the podcast in the podcast app for a little while, but it wasn't working, and we just kind of said, we put it to the side and said, we'll figure it out later. So, your guys' input saying, when is this going to be in the podcast app, whatever, I really want to listen to this. I love the show, and I want to be able to listen to this on, Overcast, the podcast app, whatever. When is that going to be live? Are you going to put it in iTunes, whatever? It kind of, you guys saying that kind of, influenced us a little bit to work a little bit harder on that. So we do listen to your guys' comments a lot.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Well, some more big news came out this week, and that is that iOS 9.2 has been officially released. I mean, look, we suspected this for a while. It's been in beta for quite a while now, and it's finally officially dropped. It's out of beta. So,
yeah,
have you guys tried this out at all?
yeah. I have. I loaded it onto my secondary 6 Plus from last year. Just for a few minutes though, just to play around with it, see the new features and whatnot. And I gotta say, just from using it for a few minutes, it's so much faster and more stable and everything than previous versions. Even from 9.1 to 9.2, it's just a world's difference. You could just tell when opening apps, switching apps. It's just, I think this is the firmware that a lot of people have been waiting for. Unfortunately, this device wasn't kept on there because we'll talk about this later, but there's some vulnerabilities that were patched in 9.2, and just to make sure that I could jailbreak this thing in the future, I threw it back on 9.1. But back to 9.2, it's very stable, and yeah, good firmware for sure.
This is ironic because I remember when I did this, I can't remember which, I think it was back in 9, and I was saying, oh well, what if there is vulnerabilities patched in 9.0.2? So I didn't want to upgrade to 9.0.2. And
Right.
yet, Andy, you were one of the people who said, oh well, there's never been a jailbreak release for a non-current version of iOS, so you should just update.
Yeah, and well, to be honest, it's true. It's very rare, and I mentioned this in the video I just made today. Like, it's very rare, but just to be safe, because there were 3 paying vulnerabilities from 9.1 to 9.2 that were patched. Just to be safe, if you're waiting for a jailbreak and you don't have a jailbroken device, you may as well just downgrade to 9.1. But anyways, David, did you get a chance to check out 9.2?
I did not, unfortunately.
Okay.
Pretty much what's going on with me right now is the fact that I basically have all of my iOS devices jailbroken. All right, so let's see. So my iPhone 6s is jailbroken on 9.0.2. My iPod Touch is jailbroken on 9.0.2, and my iPad is jailbroken on 8.4. So the
Okay.
iPad I never use, so I probably really should get to updating that, but it's just like a toss off of, do I really want to update this and lose the jailbreak and wait until there's another, that's why I was just I've been hesitant to updating. So to answer your question, no, I haven't actually tested it out myself on my devices personally. I've tested it out on my friends' devices because some of my friends actually do have 9.2 installed. I've
Yeah.
noticed that it is definitely a lot faster than previous versions. So
Right. Definitely. Yeah, I mean, the same thing with me. It's not on my main device. I'm still jailbroken, of course, on my 6S Plus, but, I always keep a couple devices off to the side. But,
Yeah.
yeah. Justin, what about you?
No, I'm in a similar boat to David. I don't want to lose my jailbreak. All my stuff. See, I have this obsession with keeping the device that I bought on an original version of iOS. So, like for
Yeah.
example, my 6 is on iOS 8 and my 5S is on iOS 7. So like that kind of thing. So
Right.
no, I have not. But yeah, I've heard that there's a lot of bug fixes, a lot of speed boosts. And it's interesting because I thought I heard on Twitter that there was an iOS 9 jailbreak that Pangu announced on their what was it, Weebly? They announced it on, I believe, that they
It
have
was it was a fake. It was
Oh, it
on
was a
their fake
fake.
Twitter account. Yeah. So it
Oh,
wasn't
it was
their
a
fake
fake.
Twitter account. It was a fake Twitter
It was
account.
a fake
Yeah.
Twitter account. You know,
Yeah.
what is the purpose of creating these fake Twitter? I don't understand.
It's so strange because it's okay. So it's as opposed to at Pangu Team, which is the legit one. It's at Team Pangu, and to
So
be
it's
honest,
really it's really just like a troll Twitter account, honestly. I don't know if it's for monetary gain, if they're looking to make some money off of it, or if it's just, hey, we want to get somewhat popular, so let's kind of just reverse the words and, see how many people think it's legit and follow us. And apparently, 13,000 people at least thought it was legitimate at first. So they started follow. So there's still like
Yeah.
13K followers on that account. So people still do think it's legit because they haven't really done anything that would say that they're fake 100%. This is probably, I would say, the most that they're doing right now that would say that it's fake. Like, oh, we know all the rumors are out there. Like, we're working on a 9.2 jailbreak for Christmas. I mean, that might be true. They might actually be working on a 9.2, jailbreak for Christmas because we really just don't. We have no intel about this at all.
yeah, that's what they said. We can't promise an early Christmas, but we're working on it. And yeah,
Exactly.
sorry.
So we don't like that tweet itself is fake, but we don't know if that information in the tweet is fake because that could just be something like, we've been predicting that it could be a Christmas release. But
Yeah, so here's the thing. I remember when the first so Pangu came on the scene with 7.1 back in the day, and then when they released their iOS 8 jailbreak, there was this confusion. People thought Team Pangu and Pangu Team were two
Yeah.
like separate accounts, but
Right.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
and it was regarded as legitimate for a little bit, but it's fake. It's been it's been proven. So don't get fooled. The only people you can trust are the legit accounts, which is at Pangu Team and at Taiji_jailbreak.
Right. And a good way to check, just to make sure, even if you don't know the actual, Twitter handles, and this is actually a really smart thing to do, and this is what I actually did before to make sure I was on the legitimate account, is I went on to Pengu's website, and then there's just like a little hot link for the Twitter, and then
Yeah.
I just clicked on that, and then it showed me the actual Twitter account that, is linked with them. So that way you won't actually get confused, that's what I would do.
Yeah, that's definitely a good idea. But yeah, I mean, aside from that, hopefully it will come in Christmas. That'd be a great Christmas present. I remember a couple years ago in iOS 7 when the Evasion 7 came out, like right before Christmas. That was absolutely fantastic. I remember I was so happy.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, so hopefully that gives them, a few more days. And who knows? We could be waiting till February. This is the only thing that I absolutely hate about, being a adamant jailbreak supporter is the fact that it's a little difficult the waiting period that we're in, so to speak, is a little difficult.
Right. The one thing I don't like about like the times right now, like it's kind of different. Like I like it and I don't like it. I like it for the reason that we're getting jailbreaks like
Yes.
so much more
Yes, we are.
often than we used to, it's just crazy. Like there's so many jailbreaks that are coming out per year now, which didn't used to happen back, even I think like what 1-2 years ago. It definitely was not like this a few years back. But that's what I like about it, that we're getting more jailbreaks more frequently. What I don't like about it is the fact that we're not really getting any intel about when it's going to drop, what kind of the progress is on it. Besides, here and there, maybe Cammy's saying there's some rumblings in terms of, progress in in creating a jailbreak. We really don't hear anything in terms of, what's going on. So that's one of the negative things that I see for this.
Yeah. By the way, just to point out, when he says Cami, he's referring to Cami Harbison. She works for
Right.
iDigital Times, and we'll put the link to her Twitter in the description. She's a fantastic writer. So,
Right.
but yeah, I mean, obviously, hopefully, a jailbreak will come soon, and you know, I think it was we were talking about it the other day as a group, and we were saying that the shift of the community has really changed from the jailbreak security researchers now to the tweak developers. So let's do that right now ourselves. So Andy, what do we got for tweaks this week?
Yeah, so we got some good ones. So let's start off with, oh man, I don't know how to pronounce this. Chrysalis?
Chrysalis.
Chrysalis. There it is. Chrysalis. Okay. This is available for $1.99. This is a really cool tweak. It's a 3D touch. It's basically a new 3D touch app switcher. So, of course, normally if you have the 6S or 6S Plus, you get 3D touch on the left side of the screen, and you'll get it'll either allow you to swipe between your open apps or open up the app switcher. Basically, this tweak brings up this little menu in the middle of the screen wherever you press, like whichever, however high or however low on the screen you press. Right. And it's this little, kind of this little bar, this diagonal bar.
Okay.
It shows your 5 most recent apps. Basically, you just release your finger on a particular app and it opens it. So it's basically just like it's a little bit more of a concise, I guess, way to switch apps, because with the normal gesture, when you could either, open up the switcher or swipe, but the way that the normal iOS 9 app switcher is constructed isn't really built for this kind of gesture, and this tweak is definitely built with this kind of gesture. It's built with the quick, it's built with 3D touch in mind, I think. Right. So it's a much better 3D touch browser. It's kind of hard to explain. Again, I'll have my video in the description, but
didn't we talk about this last week? It was either last
very
week or
briefly.
Yeah,
very briefly. We didn't actually go into depth on it, but we just kind of mentioned it. But yeah, it's a cool tweak. It's kind of hard to explain. I don't know. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? It's like a little diagonal bar that shows your 5 apps. Just the icon. It doesn't actually show a preview, so it's very small and subtle.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying. I do think I get what you're saying. It's interesting because I remember, Andy, I was watching your video on this tweak. By the way, how much is this tweak?
Oh, it's $1.99. Yes.
Okay, and Big Boss, I'm assuming.
Yeah, Big Boss.
Okay, yeah, because I was watching your video on this tweak earlier, and I remember didn't your phone crash when you were doing this video or something like that?
Oh no, that was a different tweak. Okay, so this was something I sent David because I thought it was funny.
Yeah.
It's this tweak called Point and Shoot, which it's actually a really cool tweak. It lets you 3D touch on the camera icon.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah, you select like take photo or take selfie, and it's really cool. It basically just brings up. This is a separate tweak, by the way. It brings up like a camera viewfinder in like right on the home screen, but there's certain options that crash. I was recording a video, and in the middle of the video, my phone crashed, and I just sent it to David, except that was funny. But anyways, that's just my life. But once again, this tweak is called Chrysalis. There we go.
You gotta start pronouncing names of tweaks right, Andy.
I know. I just suck at this, but
they should really just include like a pronunciation.
That would be so nice. That would make my life so much easier.
Like,
seriously.
That would be really nice. Yeah, like for awkwardly spelled, because a lot of these tweaks are awkwardly spelled. Like,
how about Nemerov? That's next up. Nemerov. That's what's coming up next.
Maybe or Nemerov. I don't know.
But anyways, David, is this something that you would use, Chrysalis?
Actually, I'm using it right now.
Cool.
So
nice.
Yeah, I do like it. It's a little bit different. The only thing I don't like about it is it takes away the native 3D touch gesture for being able to go to the app switcher. So that's the one thing I don't like about this. I feel like it probably would make sense if there was some alternative way to do that, so you still keep that gesture, but it's maybe at the right side of the screen instead of the left side. I don't know why.
That could work. I can see that. Yeah, I don't know, but I mean, the way that I see it is it's kind of a better implementation of the same function, so I don't really have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Justin, what about you? Is this something you think about using?
Yeah, maybe, if it was accessible with VoiceOver for sure. Like, I've been so busy with school lately, I haven't, like, extremely heavy course load right now, so I've been really busy with school, so I haven't had as much time as I'd like to test out tweaks and stuff like that, because it does take time. I mean, there is no denying that it does take time. So, hopefully, Christmas break, I'm gonna just kind of go on a tweak testing spree and
Right.
and do all that. So I'll put it on there and give it a try for sure.
So speaking of Christmas break, there's a tweak that actually came out a little while ago, back on, I think the first version was iOS 7. So this basically, it never made it out to Big Boss, ModMyEye, or any of the default repos. This is actually on Ryan Petrich's beta repo, because this is by Ryan Petrich. If you haven't guessed what I'm talking about, this tweak is called Snoverlay. Basically, what this tweak does is it provides a nice little cool snow animation overlay on, system, UI, whether it be, applications or the app switcher or now the one thing I don't know for sure, but at least on mine, it might be different because I have a live wallpaper theme. But for mine, at least you could tell my video. We'll put that in the description and in the show notes. But yeah, from what I could tell, it didn't work on my lock screen. But other than that, it worked everywhere. Like, it works in Twitter, it works, in settings, whatever. The only thing that isn't the best about this tweak is if you want to use it, if you want to be festive for the holidays, for Hanukkah, for Christmas, for Kwanzaa, whatever whatever you want to celebrate. If you want to be festive because it's it's the most wonderful time of the year, then you could go ahead and do so.
Certainly is.
You can download this. It's just a great tweak. I love
It
this.
is.
But
Guys.
It makes it snow all the time. On
Yeah.
my
I
phone.
thought the most wonderful time of the year is when the Staples commercials come on the TV for back to school. Like, come on.
Oh yeah,
Um,
so, totally.
Yeah.
No,
No.
like, David, does this tweak come with built-in Christmas music by chance?
Unfortunately, no.
It basically
I'm
just
gonna
makes it
I'm
snow.
gonna
It's
go
like all of that.
message Ryan right
Yeah,
now. I'm
you
gonna be
probably
like, "Hey,
could just
Ryan."
message Ryan and say, "Hey, could you update this and make it have Christmas
Da,
music?"
da, 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 da,
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Ryan,
Yeah.
please put Christmas music into snow. Wouldn't it be awesome if there was like some prank tweak that you could install that like put Christmas music on your phone and made it impossible to take off until you uninstalled the tweak?
Oh, that would be awesome. I don't know why I think that's so funny, but I think
Yeah.
that's like the funniest thing.
You know what, William? Please, William, if you're listening to this, please make this because this would be awesome.
Just make it like an orchestra version of Deck the Halls, just like over and over. With no
Okay.
words or anything, just like have it loop
Getting
over
back
and over.
on topic. Getting back on topic. The negative thing about this tweak is the fact that there is no actual way to, disable this tweak. The only way you're going to be able to disable this tweak and make it so it doesn't actually function is you're either going to, one, have to uninstall it from your device, or two, you're going to have to boot into safe mode. So unfortunately, there's no configurable settings for this tweak. You can't enable and disable it. What I think would be really cool is if, you could change the speed, maybe at which the snowflakes are falling. Maybe you could change the color of the snow. I don't know. I think there's kind of like I think there could be a really cool set, just like really cool settings options. Like it could play with Christmas music, like you said. There definitely should be. Yeah. No, there definitely should be an enable and disable switch regardless. That's one of the main things. And I think that might be the reason why he hasn't pushed it out yet. But another thing is, too, if that's the only reason he hasn't pushed it out to Big Boss or any other default repo, then I mean, I don't. Maybe it's harder than I think, but I don't think it would be too hard to just throw an enable and disable switch into the tweak.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Um,
Yeah. Festive
Yeah,
tweak,
I
for
mean,
sure.
it's fair. And I mean, look, in fairness, I don't know how much, heart and soul was, and I mean,
Hey, a lot of Christmas spirit was put into this. Okay?
Yeah.
yeah, and that's what counts. So
Yeah,
that's what
what-
counts. So
Yeah, so
Um,
it's available for free. Just so
On the what's Ryan Petrich's beta repo? I guess we'll put it in the description.
Yeah, we'll have
The
that
address
in the
for
show
Ryan
notes as
Petrich's,
well in the description.
beta repo. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is something that like I would keep I install from time
Yeah.
to time, but it's never
This-
something that I
yeah.
keep because it just kind of annoys me. I like
Yeah.
snow falling all the time because I
Yeah.
can't read stuff like half the time. But
Guys,
you know what?
Guys,
It's
snow in
festive.
summer. What if you're like from like Alaska and you move to like Hawaii and it's too hot?
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
Perfect
another
tweet.
thing is, say you live in a place where it never snows, like California, for example, then you could throw this on your phone and be like, "Oh, hey, it's snowing! Look at that!"
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
yeah.
Yeah, it's true. That's definitely true.
Well,
Yeah.
Andy, what's up? What else is going on right now in the tweak scene?
So continuing with the awesome trend of names that I can't pronounce, next up we have Nemerov. This is spelled Nemerov. This is available for free.
Yeah,
Actually, a
maybe
really cool tweet.
spelling it out will help your cause a little bit.
Yeah, maybe it will. But basically, this is this tweak lets you. It's very small. Basically, but it's cool though. So when you take a screenshot on your device, normally you just get this white flash when you take the screenshot. But this tweak allows you to change that white flash to other animations. So basically, there's some really cool ones. My favorite is the checkerboard animation. Basically, it just flashes with all these checkers and whatnot. In the settings, you can configure the animation. There's like an American flag animation. There's like Triforce, so like 3 things come in the middle, then they go away. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's like Star of David. There's just some cool animations, and there's some color configuration and also some like directional animation configuration.
Star of David. There's a
Yeah.
Star of David.
Yeah.
David, you're
Yeah.
a star.
Well, there
Go
you go.
download this tweak, and you will be a star.
David, you're a star.
Well, I have to admit, this does sound like a really cool tweak.
It is cool.
How much is this? Is this free? Or...
Yeah, it's just a free little fun tweak, spice up your device a
Okay.
little bit.
Yeah. No. Well, and that's another thing too. If it's a tweak like this and it's free, I might as well try it out because
Yeah.
it sounds really cool and it's free. So why not? But yeah, when you were first talking about it, I thought you were gonna say you can change the color of the flash, and I was gonna say I think we've seen definitely something like that.
Yeah, we
before.
have. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is, it lets you change like all kinds of different aspects, and there's really cool animations. I am working on a video for this. It should be up tomorrow, I'm hoping. So, yeah, it's a really nice tweak. I like it. It's free, so definitely go check it out. Obviously, Justin, it's purely visual, so I doubt you have any interest in this. Yeah.
Well, I think my opinion on this tweak is that David needs to download it so that he can be a star.
Yeah, David stuff.
Okay. There you go.
All right, so next up we have Emptyreal. This is available for free as well. This is a cool one. This basically, okay, so first of all, those app suggestions that iOS sometimes gives you depending on your location and like where you are. On your lock screen, it'll let you slide up on the left side to open up a specific app, and also in your app switcher at the bottom. Basically, this tweak allows you to tap into that and completely overwrite it and do whatever you want with it. So it's very simple. After you install it, you just go into settings, and there's just a select application section. You could see all the apps on your device, and you click just one single application, and that single app will always show up as an app suggestion. So now on my lock screen, I have it set so Cydia is always on the bottom left screen, so I could just swipe up and I can get right to Cydia, and of course in my app switcher it's right there. So again, you just basically turn the app suggestions views into app shortcuts for a particular app. What do you guys think?
It sounds interesting, definitely.
Yeah. It's like an app launcher.
Yeah. The way
I'm a
I
little
was thinking
confused.
about
How
it.
does this work? How does this work? I'm a little confused. Yeah.
I was gonna say the way I was thinking about it, it kind of sounded to me like it was replacing the little handoff functionality.
It does. Handoff. Some people call it that. Basically, Justin, like maybe when you're near an Apple store or like Apple Pay sometimes uses it, like how like an app. So of course on the right bottom corner of the lock screen, there's the camera grabber you could swipe up, and then on the other side there's the app suggestions, which iOS.
Oh
suggests.
yes.
And
okay,
also like at the bottom of the switcher, basically it just lets you overwrite that and put.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So that's definitely a cool idea there.
Yeah, definitely something I consider for sure.
And it's nice because like there's a lot of different app launchers in Cydia from the lock screen and everywhere else. But I like this one because it's native. Like it feels native. It's just right there, and it works. It's very stable, obviously, because again, it's just tapping into the native functionality. So I always like app launchers that are discreet like this. So yeah, definitely go check it out.
Yeah, the beauty of app launchers is that there's so many that there's choices for everyone, and that's essentially what jailbreaking is about. You have some that are designed more to look like Android. You have some that are designed more to look native on iOS, like this one. So it's definitely a nice part of the jailbreaking market, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, some of them, like for example, Berry C8. I use that one all the time.
Oh, I love that one.
Definitely.
I use that all the time.
Yeah,
yeah. That one looks native too.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
That was until I had to uninstall it because I had so many tweaks that it was just completely overloading my phone.
Yeah, see, my thing with jailbreaking and stuff like that is people will complain of copied source code and whatnot, and copied source code I understand, but if you manage to code something differently and functionality is similar, as long as it's not exactly the same, never complain because you have more choice, because at the end of the day, that's why people jailbreak is for that extra choice.
Yeah.
So that's just my kind of spiel for the day, if you will.
Just in spiel, yeah. So next up we have point and shoot, and I kind of talked about this earlier. It's actually a really cool tweak. Basically, as I mentioned, this is free, by the way, and if you have a 3D Touch device or you enable 3D Touch through other Cydia tweaks on older devices, of course, you 3D Touch or you activate the quick action. You have take selfie, record videos, take slow-mo, or take photo. If you select take photo or take selfie, it's just going to bring up in the same little 3D Touch window a camera viewfinder, and you could just tap on that viewfinder to take photos. You could rearrange you could resize the window using a little grab corner on the side, and just take photos right from the home screen without actually having to launch the camera app. You could double tap the view to switch from front-facing to rear-facing camera, which is pretty cool.
That's nice, yeah.
Yeah, and the issue that I kind of talked about with the crashing was there's this thing called Present Immediately, which basically, if you enable it in the settings, it will just automatically open up straight to the shortcut. Like, you won't even have to select Take Photo. And that's where it's a little buggy. Like, sometimes my phone crashes and it flags up and locks up, but as long as you just stay away from that option, just use the tweak as it's as it is when you install it. It's perfectly stable and really nice tweak. So, what do you guys think about this?
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool for sure.
Just a quick action from the quicker action, I guess. That's really.
Yeah. That's exactly. There's been lots of 3D Touch tweaks.
Yeah,
I like that.
It seems like that. Yeah. And I don't know if I'm making like an accurate thing here when I say this, but it kind of seems like there's been more 3D Touch tweaks than there was when Touch ID came out.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because all the Touch ID tweaks came at once and then kind of just stopped.
And now these are like spread out, so people are thinking, oh hey, a little app switcher, when you 3D touch from the left side, that'd be a good idea. Let's put that in there. Or, when you 3D touch, this happens. When you 3D touch, that I think there's a little bit more room in terms of things you could work with, I guess, with 3D touch. So I think that's probably why ideas are a bit more spread out. Whereas, with Touch ID, we kind of saw everything just happen at once.
Yeah, the only letdown actually for me with the iPhone 6s is the fact that I never use 3D Touch. I barely ever use 3D Touch. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I use Peek and Pop a lot. I use
that's
for
the
example,
same thing,
Tactful. And
Peek and Pop and 3D Touch are the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. I know. Well, I was saying I don't use the 3D Touch quick gestures on the home screen for the
Messages app. It's convenient. If you want to get to a specific conversation, you just 3D Touch, swipe up, and let go on the conversation. It just takes you right there. That's I think that's definitely useful.
I guess maybe it's just the fact that I have to work it into my muscle memory. I don't know. I find that oftentimes I don't really use it. I probably should start using it because it is a really useful feature. But
sometimes I feel like I use Peek and Pop just because it's there. I'm like, is this actually saving me any time, or is it wasting time? Sometimes I feel like I'm wasting time from peeking and then popping when I should just tap. I don't know.
Yeah, which is my problem.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's like my main problem with 3D Touch is like it's like really is this really saving me time? Like, do I
Right.
need this?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, definitely.
But I mean, with Jailbreak tweaks, it seems like a lot of these tweaks it does save time for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think so. Like for definitely with the oh man, I have to pronounce it again. Okay. What's it called? What am I talking about? Chrysalis with Chrysalis. It's very. I like that implementation. That's definitely one of my favorite touch tweaks. But once again, this is called Point and Shoot. It's available for free. All right. So next up, we don't really have a particular tweak to talk about, but we kind of have a news item, I would say. So Shurnix, basically, he tweeted a poll out on Twitter a few days ago. Basically, he asked, what tweak would you like to see updated for iOS 9? And he had a poll of several different tweaks of his. And one of them was the famous, or the kind of older and famous Aki, which hasn't been updated since.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Which hasn't been updated since iOS 7, which is the famous quick reply tweak that everyone loves. So,
and
Can
the
you
one
send me
thing
the
I
link to
want
that, please?
Yes.
I need to vote in this.
absolutely. I see. For some reason, my Twitter app is not cooperating, and I can't see the poll,
Yeah.
so I can't vote. I don't know
Um,
why, but David. So, what are the other items on this poll?
Okay, so it's Olympus, Aki, Atom, and Mini Player. So the one thing I want to point out of every tweak in that, in that particular list is the only thing that has not been updated for a long time is Aki. Like the rest of the Olympus was, I think, an iOS 8 original tweak. Atom updated for iOS 8. Mini Player updated for iOS 8. Aki hasn't been updated since like 7.1. So it's
Yeah.
been a long
Yep.
time since we've seen an update for this. So I think ultimately he knew everyone's gonna want Aki in the end. So it was kind of like a joke to post this poll, but yeah, you know what? It's cool because that way, he's kind of gauging. Do you guys really want me to update Aki? Is there
Yeah.
a use case for it anymore? Because obviously with iOS 8, Apple added quick reply to the messaging app by swiping
Right.
down. So, it kind of, for the most part, just was like, Shurnix probably was like, well, now there's really no point. Like, what's the point in putting that in when now Apple has it natively?
I don't know. I miss Quick Compose with the
Yeah.
notification center.
Quick
Yeah.
Compose is something that I miss. Yeah.
Well, see, and Cyrenix's Aki like quick reply, I do want to point out was also more extensive than
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
than Apple's. Additionally, with Cyrenix, with Aki, the advantage to Aki as well is like, now with iOS 9, if he updates it for iOS 9, not only will you be able to use it for messages, but I think you may be able, depending on how he does it, because now you can use quick reply for a lot of apps that support it. So theoretically, he could have, Aki for everything system wide now, not just messages. So that could be huge.
And
Um,
what would make this possible on iOS 9?
Because, okay, so basically in iOS 9 now, you can do, I'm not sure if you guys knew this or not, you can do quick reply on other
Oh,
apps as
Yeah,
well.
right.
I did.
I
So
gotcha.
potentially Aki could be used for other apps as well, aside
Right.
from messages,
That's true. Yeah,
Um,
yeah, I see what you mean.
theoretically. But can you see how far ahead it is in the poll? How far ahead is it in the poll right now?
So right now it's actually it's taking the lead. Right now it's at 47%, and it looks like 434 people have voted right now. So it's actually in the lead right now.
Yeah, that Aki for me is one of the most nostalgic tweaks of all
Yeah.
time because like I was at Jailbreak Con when it was announced and like
Yeah.
just the charisma that
Oh, the one more thing was classic that he did. I remember watching the live stream
Yeah.
for that.
Well, and just
Yeah.
the charisma that he had in his presentation of it,
Yeah.
like it really made everyone excited. And you're sitting in this room, and there's more than 100 people excited all to just download this one thing, and and then you download it, and it's like, oh my gosh, like I downloaded it with no expectation that it would work with voiceover or be accessible, and I do give Benno and Cyrenix credit because this was completely accessible this tweak. So I like just just everything. Like, that's probably for me one of the most iconic tweaks that I've ever used. So I'm really hoping that this does get updated for iOS 9, because that would,
Me too.
in my eyes, if I had that and something that worked with voiceover for the app switcher to kill all apps, that would make my jailbreak complete
Right.
at this point.
The one thing I don't know if we're ever gonna. I guess we're never gonna get it back. Who knows where these guys are? They just dropped off the face of the earth. But the one thing I'm wondering is if Byte SMS is ever gonna be making a comeback.
I highly doubt it.
I was gonna just say
Because it seems like there was a, the developer or developers seemed like they, there was some reason. I can't remember exactly what it was, but there was some reason why they couldn't.
Yeah, there was a
continue
good reason
development.
that they had, though, for why it wouldn't be coming back. I think it was something, I can't remember what it was.
That's crazy though, because Byte SMS for a long time was like a standard.
Well,
tweak in the
the
community.
funny thing about that, though, David, is that when Aki came out, it kind of
Yeah.
cannibalized a lot of I shouldn't say cannibalized, but it did definitely knock a big chunk off of
Yeah.
Byte SMS's.
Oh no, yeah, definitely. It was definitely
sales.
split between a lot of people either going, in Aki's direction or kind of staying and siding with Byte SMS. It
Yeah,
was
and I
kind
mean
of
there
when
there
the
were
evil
there
war
were
together.
at that time, there were other quick reply
Yeah.
methods, but
I think
like
Korea, yeah.
yeah. But definitely, the two big players in that game at the time were Byte SMS and Aki. And the crazy thing is that with iOS 8, both of them just went bloop, goodbye. So
I don't know. Yeah, and Aki was one of those tweaks. I obviously I played around with it, I reviewed it, I installed it, but I never really, I don't know what it was. I never really worked it into my actual daily life. So I'd really like to get a chance to do that again. I just don't know why. I wasn't really that into quick reply back then, but now I don't know. I feel like I would
Now because
make
you
better
can't
use of
have
it.
it. Now 'cause you
Yeah,
can't
exactly.
have it.
Can't have it, so I want it now.
you know what, I
Yeah.
really do. I
Yeah.
quick reply ever since 7 has become a big part of my life. Ever since Aki, I was not a fan of Byte SMS just because the layout was so clunky and complicated that it made my life a little difficult. But
Yeah, I
no,
rarely used by SMS. I
ever-
used it a
ever-
few times, but
ever since Aki, I mean, I was completely on the quick reply bandwagon, so to speak. Man, this is a really nostalgic
Topic.
topic. Like, it really is. I'm really hoping that Aki
Yeah.
makes a comeback here.
yeah, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. Well, what I'm wondering is I guess it's depending on what happens with the entire cycle and when the con is this year. But what would be really cool is if Shernix spoke again and did another version of one more thing and basically announced that he reworked basically
That would be
for
fantastic.
iOS 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
That would
Yeah,
be
it'd be like
absolutely
a
fantastic,
whole
yeah.
other, fantastic, experience, like the whole experience. Because that was one of those things, like we haven't seen anything like that in a while. So,
No,
like,
and
it's
I mean,
just
well,
everyone was so
no.
excited.
No, I mean Melissa's presentation
yes.
of blocked.
That's true.
In
Yeah.
fairness, this year was definitely good for sure too.
Yeah.
Like that
Oh,
was
yeah,
that like
absolutely.
everyone was same thing. Everyone was downloading blocked.
Right.
Like it was both of those tweaks. It was they were both good presentations. So,
Absolutely.
but it's good for the community when that kind of stuff happens. So I definitely hope that this happens. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's like
I mean-
every Jailbreak Con has that one presentation.
yeah. There's always that one, and then
Yeah.
there's always the one that just has everyone rolling around in fits of laughter for 20 minutes.
Yes, there is that one.
Not gonna name any names or anything, but
Yeah, I'm not going to
there's-
name any TVs or anything like that.
No, I'm just kidding. Well, no. This year they actually see that. I mean, I gave him credit. He did wing it, but it was kind of funny. It was definitely a funny
Yeah.
it was funny to watch. I thought it was absolutely hilarious. In 2014. But.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, once again, that's Shernix's poll. Do you guys have any interest in any of the other tweaks being updated? So it's Atom, Mini Player, and Olympus.
You know, I
three.
probably would if Aki wasn't in contention, but because Aki is in contention,
Yeah.
I'm just like,
the big
eh.
one. It's like, you know, it's funny because I think it's at like it's at towards, it's actually, no, it's second. But yeah, so it's not like he went Aki. It's like I don't know if he did it intentionally, but he didn't put Aki first. So it's kind of like, oh yeah, you know, you have Olympus, you have Adam, you have Mini Player, and Aki also.
Yeah, I think I would like to say mini player. Okay, so maybe
Yeah.
Adam first,
Schrader.
then mini
Yeah.
player. Obviously, Aki would be first, but then
Oh,
I would
okay.
say
Yeah.
Adam, and then mini player, and
Yeah.
then Olympus.
I would say Aki first and then Adam. I don't know so much about Mini Player. I used Adam a lot back on 7 and 8, so I definitely want to see that updated for 9. But Aki, just in general, since we haven't seen an update for that in so long, I definitely want to see that come out first.
I still got an iPhone 4 on iOS 7 that I can install it on. So
Wow.
now I know I might
Yeah.
do that after this.
It's still on my 5S. Like
Nice.
my 5S, the tweaks on my 5S are literally the exact same tweaks that I had installed when I went to Jailbreak on
Wow.
It's
in
crazy.
2014. Like it's a nostalgic phone. Like that phone
Yeah.
is untouchable
Yeah.
for me. Now.
It's a piece of history.
It is
Yeah,
like that's a
yeah.
huge that's an untouchable phone.
So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the tweak section. Those are our top picks that stood out to us. So yeah, in terms of 9.2, obviously, I would say just in case if you're on 9.2, I would recommend downgrading 9.1 as of now while the signing window is open, just in case the jailbreak comes for 9.1 first. So yeah, we're just in the waiting cycle for the most part right now, and yeah.
Okay, guys. Well, I think that that wraps up this week's episode. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll be back with you next week. And yeah, I mean, once again, we're really excited to be in the podcast app here with you guys and
Definitely.
Yeah.
iOS 9.2. Hopefully, it's jailbroken next time we talk to you guys. And
Yeah. Before we sign out, though, I just wanted to say, sorry for interrupting, that basically once you go ahead, if you decide to go ahead and subscribe to us on, you know, your favorite podcast application, you know, as I'm sure you're aware with the entire, you know, subscription, it would make sense that every time we do post a, you know, an episode, you're going to get notified, you know, as soon as it gets posted. So I would definitely say it's a great, you know, a great thing to do, because then if you want to keep updated on our show and you want to know, you know, to the second when a new episode comes out, you'll get notified. So it's definitely a good thing to do.
Yes, absolutely.
oh yeah, for sure. Okay, guys. Well, once again, that wraps up this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we will talk to you guys next week.
See you guys.
See you guys later.
You messed up a lot while recording this episode. Here are some bloopers, and as always, enjoy.
We are live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Jailbreak Weekly, episode 22.
David Nolan.
I am your co-host, David Burns, and I am joined with the other fantastic, amazing other two people on the show.
Nice.
Justin sucks. He's not amazing. I'm amazing. Okay?
Yeah, whatever, bro.
Justin sucks.
Hey, I said two people. That's including Justin, too.
Yeah, but we have some exciting news to announce.
That is.
Well, the Jailbreak Weekly podcast.
Wait. Start up here.
Okay.
I had to do a drum roll, you know?
Yeah, no, I said drum roll, and then I was like, that is drum roll, and then he just like went on before he did drum roll.
Tweaks. So,
Whoa.
Well,
you were
yeah, I
really
was
quiet.
about to say, it was like, that was like super quiet.
How did you like that segue, by the way?
Yeah, that was good. That was a good segue. I'm just wondering why Andy's super quiet right now.
Run it back. Hello?
No.
No. What did you do?
From the... Okay.
I raised your mic up all the way, so just in case.
Run
Like,
it back. Alright.
speaking of Christmas break, there is an actual. I mean. See, I like paused halfway through. I was like Should I describe it, or like Andy's always the one to describe it?
No,
I
you
don't
describe
know.
because you reviewed it. You should describe
Yeah.
it.
There's
No,
an
but
actual.
like it's out of character for me because I never actually describe tweaks. It's all
I
you.
know, I know.
That's why I was like,
if you
what
want
am
me
I
to
doing?
describe it, I could describe it.
I mean, I can describe.
Do you want me to
it.
describe it?
It's-
Okay.
It's fine.
Alright, go ahead.
Speaking of Christmas break, there's a tweak that it wasn't released.
Oh, yeah, I'm
True,
sorry.
it wasn't released. It was released on
Oh, okay.
beta, but it wasn't actually released. Okay, I'll
Alright,
clarify.
I'm sorry, I just did it. I'm good. Alrighty. So, next up we have Emptyreal. This is available for free as well. Basically, this is a cool tweak. You know those
Oh, this is a family show,
every
Andy.
time you
This
see
is
this
a family show, Andy.
Oh.
Andy, come on now. Come
Okay.
on, Andy. That's. I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed.
Bad
Guys.
Andy. Bad Andy. No.
Oh man.
Hey, you know what? Alright, here we go.
We at Jailbreak Weekly take pride in our professionalism.
And now for a sponsor break.